Every morning, a man wakes up. He goes to work. He pushes something heavy up a hill. Near the top, it slips from his hands and rolls back down. So he walks back down and starts again. Forever. That's the punishment the Greek gods gave Sisyphus. The most exhausting, pointless task they could invent. But there's a philosopher who looked at this story and said something strange. Sisyphus might be the happiest man alive. To understand why Camus chose this myth, you need the whole story. Sisyphus was a king, and by every account, the cleverest man alive. He founded a city, ruled with remarkable intelligence, and made a habit of outsmarting everyone, even the gods. Zeus sent Death himself, Thanatos, to collect Sisyphus. But Sisyphus tricked him into demonstrating magical chains, then locked death inside them. Suddenly, nobody on Earth could die. Wars stopped mattering. The natural order collapsed. Eventually, the gods restored death, and when Sisyphus finally returned to the underworld, they chose a punishment unlike any other. Not pain. Futility. Albert Camus wrote about this myth in 1942, during one of the darkest periods in modern history. Europe was at war. Cities were occupied. Millions searched for meaning in a world that no longer seemed to have any. Camus believed Sisyphus wasn't just an ancient king. He was all of us. Camus called this collision the absurd. On one side stands the human mind, desperately searching for purpose. On the other stands a universe that offers no explanation. It doesn't comfort us. It doesn't answer us. It simply remains silent. Once you recognize the absurd, Camus says you're left with three choices. Escape into comforting beliefs. Abandon the struggle entirely. Or stay, fully aware of the silence, and continue living anyway. Camus chose the hardest path. Not because it promised happiness, but because it demanded honesty. To keep living without certainty. To keep pushing the boulder, knowing it will fall again. This is where the myth becomes personal. Your boulder probably isn't made of stone. It might be your commute, your deadlines, your responsibilities. Every week feels like the last. Every achievement resets on Monday morning. Wake up, work, eat, sleep, repeat. The weight isn't always the work itself. Sometimes it's knowing that tomorrow begins exactly where today ended. Modern psychology reaches a surprisingly similar conclusion. Viktor Frankl argued that people don't survive suffering because suffering has meaning. They survive because they're able to discover meaning within it. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi called this state flow, those rare moments when complete attention transforms even ordinary work into something deeply engaging. The work hadn't changed. The person had. Camus understood something long before psychologists measured it. The boulder was never the true burden. The relationship to the boulder was. Camus doesn't promise a happy ending. He doesn't say the mountain disappears or the boulder becomes lighter. Instead, he offers something far more difficult: revolt. Not rebellion against the gods, but a refusal to let meaninglessness decide how you live. Once you stop waiting for the universe to explain itself, something unexpected happens. You become free. Free from the endless need for permission. Free from chasing a final answer that may never come. Camus noticed something almost everyone misses. The walk back down the mountain. The one moment when Sisyphus isn't pushing the rock. No god commands him. No task fills his hands. He's simply walking, fully aware of what comes next. Camus believed this is where Sisyphus becomes stronger than his fate. Not because he escapes it, but because he sees it clearly and keeps walking anyway. Critics have challenged Camus for decades. Isn't choosing happiness simply another comforting story? Isn't that just another way of inventing meaning? Camus leaves the question open. He wanted people to think, not merely agree. You probably have a boulder of your own. A responsibility that resets every day. A routine that never seems finished. Camus isn't asking you to pretend it's enjoyable. He's asking you to notice something else. Notice the moments between the pushes. The quiet walk. The morning light. The conversation with a friend. The small choices that belong entirely to you. The boulder doesn't have to become meaningful for you to be free. You only have to remember that you're the one choosing to push it. That's the whole trick of the myth. Not a happier boulder, a different Sisyphus.